Hey guys, don't know if anyone's on the stream yet, but yeah, just waiting for some viewers here. Alright, it looks like we have someone watching the stream now. So if you're just jumping onto the stream here, I'm just going to be streaming this game here, the Campaign Trail. I'll be looking at the chat, seeing if anyone wants me to do a particular scenario. But let's just get started here, and we'll just play 1976 while I'm waiting for some people to get here. And so yeah, just waiting for some viewers to get here. All right, Bob Dole, we're gonna choose as our running mate. Looks like we have one person on the stream here. If you're that one person on the stream, just gonna be playing this game here, the Campaign Trail. Maybe once I get some more viewers, I'll start accepting requests for certain scenarios and whatnot. But yeah, sort of just waiting for some people to get on the stream here. Let's just reload the game here, actually. Alright, I'll just, if there's still someone here watching, I'll just start playing a game here, and I'll just wait a few minutes before I really check to see if anyone's watching. Gonna go with Bob Dole as my running mate. We're playing 1976. Gonna choose a nice vague answer here. We're gonna go with a presidential strategy, exploiting the fact that we're president, the good old incumbent advantage. And in 1976, Ford started off way down in the polls, and you can see here it's almost just a total blue map here. We've got a few gray states and one decent state for us here in Utah. We're leading by not too bad of an amount, 6%, but it's just 4 electoral votes, and you see we're losing everywhere else across the board, albeit in some states, you know, these gray states, not a huge amount. But yeah, we're going to want to visit California here early on, I think. And we're going to, you know, not want to be too divisive. So we'll go with the honesty and integrity here. We should not tolerate high employment in this country. We'll say that we don't want this bill. We're doing okay. Well, no, we're not at all doing okay, but no big mess ups or anything so far. We'll say we'll support the Equal Rights Amendment. That's the mainstream answer. We don't want cuts or increases here. I've sort of gotten used to memorizing certain moves that I should make here. But yeah, I'm kind of honestly just visiting some large states. Will be neutral on abortion. Sort of middle of the lane on pardons. We'll give a visit to Indiana here, more conservative. Go with this type of answer. I think this works for me. Let's make another hit to California here. See how many concurrent viewers I have here. Looks like we got someone or maybe a couple of people on the stream here. If you're just joining the stream, I'm gonna be playing the Campaign Trail game here, where you can simulate presidential elections. And if you guys got any scenarios you want me to do, I'd be happy to do those. But right now I'm just playing 1976. If you guys saw my last video, you see that didn't work out too well. Let me just make sure you guys are actually seeing the whole window here. If you guys are not, definitely let me know. Okay, I think I gotta make it a little bigger. Let's go over here to my current stream. Just definitely let me know if there's some sort of error with the stream. I've never really done this before, so if something doesn't look right or you can't hear me or whatever, appreciate you letting me know about that. But I hope that it seems to be functioning all right. But let's just get on to this question here. We'll just be sort of middle of the lane here. And we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I'm gonna go to, I'm not gonna go to New York. I don't think it's gonna work out too well if we try to get that state. Okay, it does not appear that I was able to fix the stream here. I'm really trying to fix this. Okay, maybe I need to adjust the crop. Okay. Starting to see how this works. This should be better, folks. Let me know if there's still something off. But I hope you guys can see the game now. Somewhat, at least. Seems to be good. I think I got it. Alright. Let's get back to the gameplay here. Gonna visit, looks like we're sort of at the point we need to be in Illinois, because when you play 1976 as Ford, you sort of naturally rise in the polls throughout the game. So if you're down by like kind of a small amount before that surge, you don't really need to worry, because events in the campaign that are reflected in this game give you that needed surge. And it looks like we're at, I think, where we need to be in Illinois, Michigan, definitely Indiana here. Wisconsin, we're running a little low. Let's visit Wisconsin here, moderate state. we'll just do the debate. It's overall a net gain, as I recall. I've played 1976 a number of times here as Ford. And, okay, this is a situation where we want to get ahead of the curve. Make him leave. And, wow, looks like we're on track to win this election now. I'll give another visit to Wisconsin here. This is the limited spot strategy works. We sort of gotta justify here. It looks like we're right on target. I'm gonna visit maybe even Pennsylvania if we're really just running so ahead of the curve here. But let's visit Virginia. And if you guys can't hear me once again, just let me know for sure. Okay, I'm gonna check out the chat here. Someone wants me to play as Mondale. Yeah, they don't have 1984. I can show you guys which ones they have, but I'm just gonna quickly run through the rest of this one here, and then I'll get to requests. We gotta make it about the states when it comes to the death penalty. Death penalty. Your running mate Bob Dole has made a comment that indicates he blames World War II and every other war of this century on Democratic presidents. What are your thoughts? I am a World War II veteran myself, as are many other Republicans and Democrats. We love Bob Dole, but I think in this case he got a little carried away. We gotta sort of downplay that. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat here now. Sorry, I'm gonna check if there's anyone watching here. Okay, let's just carry on with the game here. I'm gonna speed it up now. Okay, looks like we're heading California. I'm actually not gonna visit there. Let's, visit Maine. We did our best in Vietnam. I've sort of memorized some of these. Alright. We might even want to visit Texas here, where we're only behind by 4 points. Because it seems like we're pretty ahead of where we actually need to be. Oh, but we're more far through the game than I actually thought. We gotta kind of go middle of the lane here. We gotta go the win-win answer. And we're... Okay, sorry, one sec. Alright, I'm back to the game here. Looks like we didn't change anything in Texas. I'm just looking for these pretty narrow places. Okay, Illinois. Yeah, I'll sort of just ignore this. Okay. Ahead by 2 in California. Maybe I shouldn't have visited Texas there. I wasted a question maybe on Texas. Okay, Illinois, we're not doing too well. Gonna go to New Jersey. We're gonna focus on the Midwest. All right, folks. 1976 results coming in. All right, states yet to be called. Georgia came in. No surprise, it goes to Carter. 2-1. Kentucky came in. Substantial Carter win. South Carolina, big Carter win. Indiana, we get our first win of the night. We carry it by actually a decent amount. We carry Vermont, which is actually no surprise in 1976. Carter really did dominant in the South. We're running 94-16, so we got some room to make up. You know, I never seem to pay enough attention to Florida when I play 1976. I don't remember who won that. Oh. Oof, we lost. Okay. I just haven't been able to get 1976 quite right when I've played it. But we got Michigan here. But yeah, 1976 is not my strong suit in this game. But it looks like we have a chance to do okay. Carter at 347. I just don't want him to get to 400. He's at 355. We're at 89. Not a landslide yet. We passed 100. Woo! Okay, we're at 107. We can get California and do respectably. Alright, we got California. We prevented a 400 electoral vote plus landslide for Jimmy Carter. And we got 152 electoral votes. So, kind of a strong showing for Carter. But let's check out the individual results now. We'll go to final results. And we'll look at some of these individual state results. All right, in the popular vote, we lost by 4.1%. But the election map, right, the Electoral College went against us, just like the last time I did this, because of these closer states that were pretty big in terms of their electoral votes. But, yeah, California, we eked out by 0.1%, saved us some dignity. We got Michigan by a pretty big amount. New Jersey, we just lost by 0.3. If we got New Jersey, it would have been a different picture. But, yeah, I'm going to see, you know, if you guys have any cool requests. See, someone wants me to play as Jimmy Carter here. That could be interesting. Yeah, 0.1. That 0.1 margin I hear someone talking about. Quite close, but Jimmy Carter, he had his fair share of close wins too. But we can play as Jimmy Carter now. And, you know, maybe we can win in a landslide. Let's go quick here, though. 1976, Jimmy Carter. Let's see. Alright, we're going to go with Jimmy Carter. And someone wanted me to do Mondale earlier. They don't have 1984, but I can go with, in our timeline, Walter Mondale was Jimmy Carter's running mate. And you always want to go with a, you know, pretty vague answer when we're talking about the running mate. People want an outsider in government. Yeah, this is the good one. And, oh, I think I accidentally visited a random state. Alright, but yeah, you always start off way ahead when you're playing Jimmy Carter. We want something like this, yeah. Yeah. We're obviously doing good considering we're Carter. We're going to visit Michigan, because that's a state I'm always able to win with Ford. I don't know what I should say on the abortion question. So I go super vague, but The Humphrey Hawkins Full Employment Act will go kind of really vague here. See what they're saying? You have enjoyed broad appeal, but sometimes it's almost too broad. Yeah. Sometimes we want to just be just that little bit left of center, so that we just have a little substance, you know. But yeah, now let's go to Pennsylvania here. No, we don't need to go to Pennsylvania. Let's go to Ohio. Do you support the ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment? You always got to say yes. This question, go a little vague. So yeah, you know, Carter with his Playboy interview, that really hurts him. Now that I'm playing as Carter, maybe there's some way I can try to dampen the damage of that. But, you know, let's try to get California here. We want a full pardon where Jimmy Carter, so, yeah, that's what he did. But so yeah, we want to go with that. We'll go kind of middle of the road on the defense spending. I kind of want to just really stay ahead in California. Maybe we can try to even win like Oregon or Washington. We'll go middle of the road on this. And we just take a hit. The Playboy interview. Oof. So, let's visit Illinois. And so here, in your infamous Playboy interview, you also referred to Lyndon Johnson as lying, cheating, and distorting the truth. This might make you look honest, but it could also destroy your chances of winning Texas if you don't apologize. I want to go with the ultra-honest route. But it hurts us in Texas, but I'm going to try to run the board everywhere else. See, when it comes to the debates, sometimes they hurt you. But what are you going to do if you say, I won't do the debates? That might make you look bad. But I'll see what happens sometimes if I do that. I'll give that a try. Let's visit Wisconsin here. No, wrong state. I meant Michigan. So this one, any old solution, would work. Yeah, Texas, we're not gonna try to win here. Going after California. We'll go with the liberal answer on Panama. We want to ban nuclear weapon testing. We're gonna solidify some states, I think, here. Let's try to solidify Illinois for us. We are supportive of labor unions. See, we're already going to dominate in the South, so even if those are close wins, I don't mind too much. I really want to win the Midwest. And I really want to win California. So let's go to California a bunch. We want to be kind of middle of the road. But, you know, pretty liberal. Okay, the George McGovern question. We'll go with this. And we narrowed things up in California. I'm going to visit again. We'll go with this. Okay. So we will, I can't remember what I should do with this question. We'll sort of just go with this answer here. And I want to show you guys where our support is at right now. We're behind by 2 points in California. We're ahead in Oregon, barely, thank God. That's, or not, it's not that major, 6 electoral votes. But I did not expect that. And let's check out the Midwest. We're ahead in Wisconsin, Illinois, tied in basically in Ohio, barely ahead in Pennsylvania. Let's visit Ohio here. Oh, so this is where we should focus the rest of election day. All right. So let's check out here. We could go to the Midwest. Where are we behind? We're behind in Ohio. Looks like we're pretty much ahead in most of Ohio. But Ford, if he focuses on the Midwest, we might not have the necessary leads, right? So I'm kind of in a dilemma here. You know what? I think we'll get at least... Oh, but look, we're behind by a full 2 points in California. We got to go Midwest. We got to go to Midwest, folks. All right. Settle in and wait for the returns. %2 of the vote in. Got Georgia. We didn't win Indiana, no surprise. 22% of the vote in. It's running 44-16 now. Got Massachusetts 71-16, and I think we're on track for victory, folks. Might just be easier to win as Carter here. $249. Folks, I think we're going to take it. All right. Look, Ford got Texas. Oh, it comes down to Illinois. We got Mississippi. Okay, it's all about Illinois. It's all about Illinois. We just got Illinois. Yes, okay. That was a school. Oh, God. Look at Illinois. It all came down to 0.2%. Wow. It all came down to Illinois. Wow. Okay. So, let's check out the results here. California. These West Coast states, I think we lost by more than Carter did in real life. We lost Texas, which Carter won. In the Midwest, I think we actually were a bit more successful than Carter was. But you know what we could do actually is look up the real 1976 map here. We'll just go to Wikipedia. And we'll compare. Alright. This is what happened in 1976. If you can see that here. Let me make sure you guys can see this, actually. I'll make sure I'm nice and zoomed in, so it's nice and centered. This is 1976 right here. Carter got 297 electoral votes to Gerald Ford's 240. We got 286 to Gerald Ford's 252, so it was a little bit narrower. Okay, Ford got Illinois in our timeline. We got, I think, some other states, though, that Carter did not get in reality. Alright. Oh, I see. So Ford got Illinois, but Carter got Texas in reality. So that changed it a little bit. But let's go to the final results. It's going to take a minute here. We won the popular vote by 0.9%. Alright, looking at the election map. We had some solid wins, some squeaker wins. But yeah, I guess I already looked at these state results. But yeah, 1976, I played Ford and I played Carter. Let's look at the chat here. Oh, I lost all my viewers, it looks like. Or I have one viewer, maybe. Looks like there's an ad here for some stuff. Alright, folks. Don't know if I still have viewers. Looks like maybe I have 2 viewers here. Okay, I see someone in the chat here. Do election center. Not sure if I can, quite, understand this post in the chat here. But I will do any scenarios you guys would like me to do. Alright, folks. I'll just play one more round here, I think. Then we will end this stream. I'm going to play 1988. Mike Dukakis. Go with our timeline, Lloyd Benston. Alright, so what message will you emphasize as you accept the Democratic Party nomination? As governor of Massachusetts, I've led a capable liberal administration. I think I want to go with the... Sorry, I think I want to go with the pragmatic leader message. And a balance here. We start off ahead. Mike Dukakis started off ahead. We want to go to states like Ohio right out of the gate. We want to attack Dan Quayle. We want to try to win California. Because remember, Dukakis is going to start falling at some point. We want to contrast our backgrounds. let's do the debates. We really want to go after states like California and whatnot. We want to go after Ohio. They're a bit protectionist. On 1976, it was easy to just go moderate. Here, the states, you know, sometimes you're trying to win two different types of states, so it can be more challenging. We want to compare and contrast. So on the trade, we want to go moderate. Oh, I messed up. I messed up, folks. If any of you guys are just joining the stream here, I'm playing Michael Dukakis, 1988, and I think I just accidentally supported free trade. I was trying to just go a more moderate approach. I think I might have misunderstood the advice. I just nakedly supported free trade. But that's not what I was trying to do. But anyway, let's just try to move on. We already did it, so let's actually just go after the more moderate and or free trade type states. So this is maybe going to help us in California. But yeah, we just got to try to work with what we got here now. Let's go to New Jersey, free trade state. We want to be pro-farming. See, this is anti-free trade, so we can't contradict ourselves like that. Okay, this is a tough one. Let's just go with the liberal answer. We need to turn the tables here and go on the attack. See, that's what Dukakis did wrong in 1988. He didn't respond well to Bush's attacks, and his attacks were ineffective. We got to try to not do that. I mean, maybe if I go on the attack, it's going to end up being ineffective like in reality, but I hope it's not like that. Oh, Texas is free trade. So actually, I think the free trade approach was the way to go. That might have actually been a happy mistake. You know, moderate, you'll be able to gain in more places, but the gains won't necessarily be as large. We once again want to go on the attack to Dan Quayle anytime we can. Let's try to avoid labels here when it comes to liberal versus moderate. Oh, we just slipped in Texas. I don't know what that was. But we're doing really well in California. We're doing well in Illinois, despite them being protectionist on trade. We're doing well in Ohio. I mean, we're down some points here, but see, Michigan, which is moderate on trade, we're doing a bit better. We're actually in the lead. We surprisingly have a huge lead in Wisconsin, which is protectionist on trade. But yeah, let's go moderate on everything else. Let's go to New Mexico here. And by the way, guys, if you guys have any requests for scenarios you want me to do, I'd be happy to take those requests if anyone has a request. But depending on if I end the stream at that point. You know what? I'm going to visit a state here, then I'm going to maybe check the chat. Okay, looks like we're up in New Mexico. Let's go to Colorado. Free trade. They're moderate on everything other than free trade and crime/drugs. They're hardline. So we want to be pretty tough on crime. I think that's what a lot of states were like at this time. We want to talk about reducing our nation's crime epidemic. Alright, this is what he did in real life. Okay. The Bush campaign is attacking your opposition to the invasion of Grenada and bombing of Libya. What's your response? So what Dukakis did in real life was We need to change the imagery on this issue. Let's do a photo op of me riding in a tank. That backfired. Just a photo op of him riding around in a tank. His opponents used that against him. Made him look, kind of foolish, I guess. But let's sort of say we criticize these we support these actions in general. And we're keeping ourselves in the fray. I want to see how we're doing. It looks like we're doing pretty good. Delaware we could visit. Colorado I kind of want to visit again. And I think we should visit Texas again. So what should we do on the death penalty? Let's check. See how California will view that. I don't know if this would fall under crime or social issues. We'll take the moderate approach. We'll say I have nothing to hide on the Pledge of Allegiance. Folks, I'm hoping we win. I think we're going to do better than Dukakis did in reality. So we gotta help with the federal government on that question. We'll sort of say, yeah, we're concerned if you guys are reading this question. Florida, Dukakis really slipped in 1988. We're not going to win Florida. Maybe we could try to win Ohio. Let's go to Michigan again. 20 electoral votes, and we've got a great chance to win it. And they're more moderate on trade. They're not protectionist. And we kind of ended up going, pretty free trade in favor of it. We'll talk about our background. That always works. So what Dukakis the question is, television advertising is coming to dominate the political campaign season. Where should the greatest emphasis be placed in your ads? What Dukakis ended up doing is he said, or this was just one of his campaigns, let's attack George Bush as a creature of his political handlers who lacks any deep-seated convictions or record of governing competence. I don't know how much he did that, but he did it a little bit, and no one got it. Didn't work. People were just like, what is the message of this ad? And it was just confusing. I watched it myself, and I was just confused. Maybe it's also because I wasn't alive, or just wasn't, part of that. So maybe if you were just in the 1988 election, paying attention, then maybe you would have understood it more, but I really did not understand the ad. But I think we should attack George Bush. This is what Mondale did in 1984. So are you willing to rule out any further increases to the federal income tax if elected president? Mondale in 1984, this is kind of the Mondale type answer. At his convention speech, he said, my opponent will raise taxes, and so will I. He won't tell you. I just did. It was supposed to come off as honest and blunt, just telling the absolute truth. It backfired, and he really lost a lot of support. It really didn't work. We don't want to do the Mondale. We all know what happened to Mondale. He lost everything except his home state of Minnesota. He barely won it, and he won the District of Columbia. No surprise, he won there. So heavily Democratic, but yeah. We should say, I hope that isn't necessary, but it would be irresponsible to rule out anything at the present time. And, California narrowed up. Let's go here. we should hammer on the Iran-Contra scandal. This is a good opening to remind voters of Bush's unpopularity and possible lack of judgment. They're talking about the Boston Harbor thing in Massachusetts. We should blame Reagan and Bush. But it looks like we're still kind of slipping in California. It looks like we're doing well in the Midwest. Let's go to Illinois here. We'll go with a moderate answer here. We'll select this. We're skeptical. You know, we're going to attack Bush as an elitist. Bush has taken the lead in California, folks. This is not good. We got to go here. California, for sure, we need to visit the most. Alright. Let's see, folks. Let's see if we can win his Dukakis. 4% in. 6% in. 8% in. The first state has been called Indiana for Bush. Not surprised. Rand Paul here, Libertarian. Let's see if he can win a state. He's obviously not going to. Alright, we've got 3 from DC. It looks like 53 for Bush from all these states. Alright. We got 7. We got 20 to his 107. We got 26 to his 130. We lost Ohio. I didn't expect to win there, so. Alright. We've got some states. We've got some states. He's got a lot more, but we've got some states. 39 to his 198. We just got a lot of good wins here. We're past Dukakis's real result in 1980 now. Well past it. We've got a good chance actually to win. Just hope we do. Dang it, we lost. I don't think it's going to be a big landslide, but... Alright. Bush is at 291. We're at 160. Someone was asking me to do the tank. That would have been a major backfire if we did that. Senator, you know Jack Kennedy. Yep. Famous line. It actually has its own Wikipedia page. It's famous enough for that. President Reagan versus Jesse Jackson. You actually cannot run as Reagan in any of these. Let's see if we got the final results here. 317 for Bush, 221 for Dukakis. But we got California. We did way better than Dukakis did in reality, so maybe in a way that's a victory. It means that we're good at the game. Okay, in the popular vote, it was quite close. 2.5%. We're going to look at election map. So it was actually pretty close in Texas. Or a lot closer than in reality. But that's sort of just also nationwide. It was a lot closer. So we got Illinois here. In reality, Bush won it by a couple of points. In this, looks like we won it by almost a couple of points. West Virginia we got. Pennsylvania we got. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of this result. It's okay. But I was hoping to outright win. Let's see what state would have given us the win. If we could have gotten Michigan, maybe? Michigan, that would have given us 241. And then, let's see if there's another state here. Ohio, that was a big margin. Oh, New Jersey, that was a big margin for Bush. Oh, we should have visited Missouri. It was within 0.1%. If we got Michigan and Missouri, that would give us 252 electoral votes. New Mexico, okay, at this point, this is just so many states I would have to gotten. so many of the close states. But yeah, let me show you guys what really happened in 1988. 1988. Assume a lot of you guys already know. But yeah, this was the real 1988 map. So we did it a lot better. See, Dukakis only got 10 states, 112 electoral votes minus the faithless elector. In the popular vote, it was almost 8 points. He really took a bad loss. Pretty bad loss. By modern day landslides, no doubt that'd be considered a landslide. Yeah. Someone says, you lost in a not landslide, but pretty bad. Michigan, Florida, Maine. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it. I didn't lose in a landslide in any way, but 317 to 221. I guess that's almost 100 electoral votes separating us. But yeah, I guess I would think that this is a decently close election. But maybe a decent win for Bush. So yeah. But it would still be a challenge to win outright. It would be more of a challenge because of just how down Dukakis was in reality. Like, if they made a version of this for 1984, it would probably be so hard to win. Because just it does kind of reflect the events of the campaign. But I think I've played 1988 a couple other times. I think maybe one time I win, I got 271 electoral votes or something, but I would consider an electoral landslide under 100 electoral votes and a popular vote 110 points or above. That's interesting. Different people have, this is something someone posted in the chat, but yeah, different people have different definitions of landslides. And so yeah, I always hear people calling elections like 2008, 1996 a landslide. And, I would disagree. I think that those are not quite landslides, but it looks like this person here is kind of agreeing with me. A landslide under 100 electoral votes, 10 points in the popular vote. I can somewhat get behind that. Maybe I'd be a little looser in my definition. Like, I think 1988 maybe was on the cusp of being a landslide. Maybe. But yeah. Interesting. If you guys have any other scenarios you would like me to do, then yeah, I can accept any requests. Maybe we'll get started with another game, or just look at the chat here. Yeah, Johnson definitely got a landslide in 1964. One of the worst in recent history. If you watch the old election coverage from 1974, that's what all the, pundits just keep on saying. The Johnson landslide, the news pundits from that era. I got a request here, 1860. Let's see if they have that election, and they do. So, I might not know enough about this to really play that well, but I'll just give it a shot here. Oof, they don't have Bell. But I can play Stephen Douglas here, who I think was Alexander Bell the Democrat? Let's look up 1860 on Wikipedia real quick. So Alexander Bell, or was that his name, Alexander Bell? No, John Bell. He was the Constitutional Union, so they do not have Bell. I think they should add Bell, He was like a real contender. I don't know why they just have Lincoln and Douglas. But yeah, maybe we can do 1860 is another candidate, or we can just play a different scenario here. I think I'm going to get started on one election, and if you guys have a different idea for something you'd like me to do, then I'll just get started on that. Cancel the other one. I'll just play 2016 while we're at it. Yeah, I'll just play as Donald Trump here. Mike Pence. Alright, your use of Twitter. This is about Twitter here. Alright. Okay. Let's go with this here on 2016. And let's see how we're doing in the polls. Clinton leading. I don't know if this is like the polls, like what they were in 2016, so if they're going to be off, right? Or if this is just the legitimate support. I mean, let's remember, folks, the polls are, normally off by a few points. I don't know if they include that, like if there was polling error, if they included that in these. But let's visit Florida. It was really close. Alright, this question here, let's not be too insane here. Let's go with this. We'll go with this. This is about Mike Pence. See how we're doing in Florida. We narrowed the gap here. Someone gave a new request. 1968, you can't play as the Dixiecrats, but you can play as the I guess, George Wallace, because I think they were both sort of the segregationist third-party candidates. So, if anyone would like, I could play 1968 as George Wallace. I guess they're kind of like equivalent in a way. He was American independent, but they were both like a segregationist third-party thing. We'll just get started on 1968 here. You're never going to win if you're playing George Wallace. It's really just about trying to do as well as possible. You're never going to win if you play George Wallace. But I think I'll just get started and try to play George Wallace here. Actually, okay. Sorry, folks. Just reloading the page. Let's see here if there's anything else we can do. We could do 2000, 1988, 1976. Consider Bill Clinton's win in 1992 a landslide victory. Interesting question. Thank you. I would say it was a solid margin, but the country was just not totally united behind Bill Clinton. Ross Perot sort of in the picture there. It clearly was not that everyone was just super on board with Bill Clinton. And the Electoral College sort of made his victory look larger than it really was if you look at the popular vote. you know, the disproportionate electoral college numbers. But I generally I don't consider a landslide, but yeah, definitely a substantial margin of victory for Bill Clinton. So someone is asking which one is available with multiple candidates who won states. 1968, I believe, is the only one. But let's just scroll through here to see if there's any others. Oh, 2000, you can play as Ralph Nader. That's an interesting one. Let's try to do 2000 as Ralph Nader. Yeah. You know, with Ralph Nader, you actually can get electoral votes if you go with the proportional system. Okay, our overall strategy for the 2000 campaign, we're going to try to get 5%. We'll go in the very liberal areas. And we're pretty much going to hurt Gore if we do this, but yeah. Okay, what key points will you emphasize as you accept your party's nomination for President of the United States? Should we say they're all the same? Should we say that we want to prevent George W. Bush? Well, I don't get why we would do that. Should we attack Gore? Should we just be very liberal? Yeah, let's just go super liberal here. Rather than anti-establishment, I think if we're going to liberal areas, we should just be super liberal. You know, an anti-establishment strategy could work as well, but let's just try to get that liberal vote in these super liberal areas. You know, DC, we're actually at 15%, so let's go to DC. We're not going to attack Bill Clinton because he's popular in a lot of liberal states, I think. Okay. We're just not going to comment about this. Alright. We will be more careful in going into foreign affairs. We're only at 10% now in DC. Let's go to New York. I think this is the most liberal answer here. We need to have a more limited foreign policy, we should say. We're just trying to go left wing, you know. Massachusetts here. We need to be, you know, just as liberal as we can be. We obviously don't want to enact tax cuts. We need to expand benefits, we should say. I'm just trying to get 10% in a lot of places. What are the most liberal states is the question. Looks like Rhode Island. We should cut defense spending, let's say. This is a good answer for a Green Party candidate, they say. Let's say we don't support nationalized standards. Or let's say we need more spending for struggling schools. I just want to get to, you know, like that threshold. Oh, we slipped in DC. Let's go here. Alright, left wing. That's what we're all about. We want to be, you know, very in favor of gun control. Let's see how well we can do in California. Looks like they're not quite liberal enough, actually. They don't have that very liberal marking, you know, if you look here. Maryland? Let's see. Let's go back to New York. Should we attack corporations? Should we be anti-establishment? Let's be anti-corporation. Remember, we don't want to be super anti-Bill Clinton, remember. Because he's popular in a lot of the areas where we're trying to get votes. I don't think we should really be too anti-establishment. We should more focus on just being very liberal. Once again, let's go with the liberal answer. And I think Nader did really well in, like, Oregon. And see, Nader did really well in Alaska in our timeline, but he was very anti-establishment, so maybe that was a mistake, actually. I think when we're going so liberal, we may not do well in Alaska. If we're sort of going with just the more liberal approach. Well, obviously, Nader went with the very liberal approach, but he also had other appeals other than that, I guess, that maybe helped him in other places. So there may be ups and downs for this type of a strategy. Yeah, anti-corporation, always. We want to pull back in foreign policy. And let's go to Oregon, where Nader did well in some places. We need a pathway to citizenship, we will say. Will be, once again, that more restrained foreign policy. Let's see how we're doing in DC. Not well enough. You know, they don't show your name unless you're at 10%, so that's an indication we're below 10%. We want to strongly support the women's right to choose. We want to be left-wing on that. Let's go to DC again. We want to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. I really want to be at 10% or more in DC. Let's go to Maryland. This, I think, is the most left-wing answer. Let's just say this. Alright, I think we're sort of running out of time. Let's go to Vermont. Sorry, my mouse was a little sticky there, I think. Or the clicking wasn't working. Alright. We want to go to the most liberal places. Let's hope we get some good results as Nader. I don't think you can possibly win a state as Nader. Unless you just only visit that place. I wonder what would happen if you just only visited one, like, DC. If you could get, like, a really good result as Nader. That'd be interesting. Someone's wondering what I would consider a landslide. I would say, like, the 1988 election is right at the point of being a landslide. it was like 8 points in the popular vote. In the electoral vote, it was 400 something to 112. That's like right what I would consider a landslide. Anything more than that, anything closer than that, I would say not quite a landslide. Yeah, someone else would be interested in the DC thing. I will do that after this. But looking at our results here, Bush and Gore doing their thing. We're not concerned with that, though. DC got its results in. We got 9% of the vote. They're like, sorry, you have lost this election. I mean, we did not at all expect to win this election. But let's look at our results. We did okay in Massachusetts. We did not do well in Vermont. We didn't expect to. We didn't visit it that much. Let's check out Rhode Island, where we got 7%. New York, that's kind of a disappointing finish, only 5.5%. Hawaii, we did not exploit Hawaii. I'm pretty sure they're also a liberal state, so we could have done a lot better there, I think. Wow, we did not do well in Oregon. California. Maybe we could have gone to Washington. Alright, well, let's go to the final results, see what our best results were. Maybe they have a thing where they list your best results. Okay, overall results details. Results by state. Oh, highest nadir percentage we can see. Can we just view all of them? All of the states? I don't know how to do that. Okay, well, let's just look at the map and check out some of these results. So, you know, if you just click on a lot of states, we got less than 1% or around 1%. But in liberal areas, we did pretty well. Or for a third party. But let's begin a new game, and I'm going to do the scenario where I just play Nader, visit 2,000, sorry, DC the entire time. And so yeah, we'll just go with this. Alright, we will be very liberal here. Yes. Alright. DC, go, go, go. We will say this was unconscionable. We want to be super in favor of expanding Social Security. Go to DC again. We want to increase funding for teachers. Alright, the left-wing answer we want every time. But I wonder if they just program a certain limit. We want to expand Social Security. We want to say, I have no plan to cut taxes. If anything, we might need some increases to strengthen Social Security. Alright, let's go again. We don't want to talk about Bill Clinton. We don't want to overtly be anti-Bill Clinton. Limited foreign policy. Let's go again. We're at 13% to Gore's 79%. A ways away from winning. We want to say that we just want to be kind of Okay, they say that was a good answer. We want to have a limited foreign policy. We're too entangled in the Middle East, we'll say. We'll just be in favor of this agreement. We're still only at 13%. The thing is, Gore probably hasn't visited DC once because he knows he's going to win it. We strongly support the woman's right to choose. Coal is dirty, we'll say. We want to... Wait, I guess. Oh, I don't think the far left likes that. We might have screwed up, actually. Oh, we're below 10%. We screwed up in DC. We need more funding for Medicare. Folks, we really screwed up in DC. So that increased our enthusiasm. We want to be left-wing. We want to be left-wing again. Okay, we climbed back up to 10% in DC. Let's just do this. I don't want to visit New York. %6 of the vote is in. I just want them to call DC. Oh, they called DC. And we got 10.3%. Dang it. You know, I think they said the free trade thing was going to be bad for us. You know, the far left. I guess that was my interpretation, was that they said they don't like that. We could have done better in DC. So, yeah, folks, visiting DC over and over again does not let you win DC. That's what we've concluded. But, yeah, let's just see what Bush and Gore want to do. Okay. Yeah, I know I lost. Let's just go to the final results now. And okay. So we did not do too well. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. So we got 10% in DC. So, yeah. Maybe the free trade thing, I guess if that hurt us, we could have had more success. But overall, I think maybe visiting a state only has so much of an impact. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream right about now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. And yeah, maybe I can do this again sometime if you guys enjoyed this. But anyway, I'll see you guys And, yeah, maybe I'll do this again anyway. Bye, guys.